Reverend Grace.
And I'm Reverend Norman.
And we are the Richardsons. Welcome to our first gala event. We thank you for coming out tonight, and for those of you that can't be here that's going to see this film, thank you for tuning in and for sharing this very special occasion where we are not just celebrating CGO programs, but we're also celebrating great men and women such as our Pastor Norman Richardson, my husband. And we just want to share a little bit with you about the foundation of our programs at CGO, which all began here at the Powerhouse Church of Healing and Deliverance back in 1998 when we first began ministering in New Brighton on Jersey Street. At the time, God gave us a vision that we should begin a great work in women's ministry, health ministry, men's transitional housing, 24-hour sanctuary, discipleship, worship, intercessory prayer, and it goes on to the gospel restaurant and pastor's comedy. All these great ministries that God had called us to do, and I believe we've done most of it and still doing more. And, God gave us for the community. He sent us out to a place where people are in pain, people are hurting, people are in need of restoration. And he said, bring them tangible resources, bring them some things, Grace and Norman, that people could use and that can make changes in their lives. And we've been doing those things. And we're here today to show you just how God has been blessing women, men. In this video, you're going to see women that have been touched and blessed by our programs. You're going to see other men and women that have supported CGO and Powerhouse Church for years. When we called, they answered, and they didn't ask for too much explanation. They said, what is the need? And they were right there to make sure that the women's housing program functioned, that the women's ministries conferences happen, whether it was here in the United States or if we were in Trinidad doing work there. They were right there, and we want to thank all of you that have been great supporters. We couldn't do it without you. We won't try to do it without you. We need your support, and we thank you for being here tonight with us. Pastor Norman?
First of all, I want to thank God for the men and women that we're honoring today and how they continue to sow into our ministry and what that did for us. It allowed us to be a blessing to the community where people's lives are being restored and being changed, because it's so important that we do come together and that we're able to release this hope upon the community so families could be restored, because family is so important. And it's so important us that are in a position to give back, that we're able to give back. And so I thank God for this opportunity to be around friends and family, that we can celebrate the awesome work that God is doing through our ministries and bringing us together to partnership to be a blessing to the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, get ready. It's a brand new season now. Anything can happen. Get ready. Hey! Romans 4 says,
Name of Jesus Christ. My name is Dale C. Sims, and I have a testimony. Well, I had always wanted to come to Staten Island, and when I did, after about 6 or 7 years, I decided I didn't want to live alone. I became very discouraged and confused, and I landed in the hospital. And then I remembered what I'd heard about Pastor Grace and her husband, and that they were starting a house. So I said, that's a chance for me to live with some people and to help get out of this depression that I'm in. So I decided to put in for the house, and I moved in, and it was kind of rocky going, but I got a lot of support from the Richardsons and other people that they hired. And after a while, well, first they set some goals. Everybody in the house had to have certain goals. So one of my goals was to get into grad school, and I achieved that goal. And after that, I had some problems with other people that were living there. And it was stated that since I've reached my goals, maybe it was time for me to move forward and go elsewhere. So reluctantly, I decided to go back to East Harlem where I used to live. This time I went back in my mother's apartment, and I had grown to the point where I knew I was not a child living in my mother's apartment. I was a grown woman living in my mother's apartment. And I just want to thank the Richardsons for all they did for me.
Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Say this and say, I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. I got it, I got it, I got it. I got it, I got it.
Grace Richardson. I'm here with Miss Regina McBride, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about Women Taking Charge 2 employment training business program that Regina was a part of just recently. Regina, how are you tonight?
I'm finding yourself, Reverend Richardson.
Why don't you tell a little bit about, how you came to know us and what you experienced in the employment training program?
Well, I came across CGO by reading an article in the Staten Island Advance that said they had free training programs. And I went and I applied. And the program has taught me, as well as other people in the community, how to do basic business things. Also, on Saturdays, we had a business program that taught us empowerment and how to become our own business people and how to get our own businesses going. And it has been very helpful and very successful to me, as well as other people that are in the program. And I thank you.
Thank you, too. What about now? What is your next venture? I know that you've completed the employment training program. You've completed the business program. What is your next venture? Is it related to CGO?
Well, yes, it is related to CGO because I will be teaching Spanish to some of the incoming students of CGO, and I am taking an advanced computer class at McKee to enhance my educational knowledge that I've gotten from CGO.
Could you just take a second just to share with the audience when that next employment class will start in Spanish?
The next class is going to...
¿Habla español?
Sí, yo hablo español. El próximo clase viene en miércoles, ¿ok? En miércoles, octubre 23.
Gracias, amiga. God bless you.
God bless you too.
See you next week. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
God said he would turn it around. What the devil.
Hi, my name is Pat Ruane, and by the grace of God, I was drawn to Pastor Norman and Pastor Grace, and I felt that I needed to give this testimony tonight just to tell anyone that's listening that domestic violence is real and it could happen to you. And it comes in many different ways. The scars stay for a long time. And it's not just a beating. It steals your mind. Violence comes in ways where it makes you feel like you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not valuable. And usually the perpetrator makes you think it's your fault and you're a victim, and you find yourself making excuses because how could this wonderful person ever turn into this? Then you go to a group and they tell you that you're an enabler. Then you go to another group and they tell you, well, you must want to be treated like this. And I'm here to tell you it could happen to you, and nobody wants to be treated like this. You don't want to be treated like this. I don't want to be treated like this, and no one should be treated like this. And by God's grace and by his grace alone, he was a victim that day, but he wasn't a victim. He rose. And he did the same thing for every one of us. And by his grace, I met Pastor Grace, and I met her husband, and I'm in their home giving this testimony, and I just want you to know, don't be afraid to talk. Don't be afraid. Get out and talk. Get help. Seek and you will find. It's going to happen. It will happen, and don't believe the lies. Don't believe the lie of the enemy. That's what it's all about. The people are here, and God will supply all your needs. Thank you.
Hello, Pastor Dave Weitzel. How are you?
Doing very well, Grace. Good to see you.
I'm really excited, and I'm so happy that I could just sit and talk with you for a little bit. And I'm hoping that you could share with our audience about some of the great work you're doing in the community and your relationship with some of the work that I've been doing with the community as well. And the first question I would like to ask is for you to tell me a little bit about your community involvement.
Sure. Well, first of all, I want to say publicly and to whoever's here how much I've appreciated our friendship over the last 15 years now, right?
Yes.
About
Yes.
15 years.
Mhm.
So for anyone who doesn't know, we live down the block from each other.
Yes.
Or you ministered down the
Yes.
block from me on Corson Avenue,
Yes.
and Victor and Jersey Street. And it's been many years of just a friendship and
Mhm.
laboring together and encouraging one another. And
Right.
that's a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing in the kingdom. And just like you, we're doing our best to bring the love of Christ to the neighborhoods that God's called us to. It's I see in the scriptures that true religion is to care for the widows and the orphans and their distress. And there's a lot of baby mamas and a lot of kind of, you know, what you could say, not every kid in the hood, but a lot of psychological orphans that you know, whether it's drugs or abuse that women have gone through in the past that left them kind of emotionally handicapped. I see a lot of psychological orphans in my neighborhood, and a lot of families that are torn apart, and kids that react violently or you know, run towards drug abuse. And you know, when a kid turns 13, 14, it's a tough time all around for any kid, no matter where they come from. But if you when some of these the normal or kind of assumed foundations of life aren't there, and assumed kind of infrastructures in life that help us all get through aren't in place, then those tumbles that kids take can be devastating. You know, we've seen some horrible things over the years of kids dying way too young, kids getting addicted way too young, just really setting the course of their life in a bad path very early. So what we've tried to do throughout the years is minister to families and minister to children in the best way we can. We've tried, you know, we've tried basketball camps, you know, and we used to fix all the bikes for all the kids in the community in these big joy fests. So we've cleaned up neighborhoods, and we used to, remember on Jersey Street and Corson, we made a big community garden that had been abandoned a lot. We tried to keep that going. We, you know, do the best you can to beautify, to bring hope, to love the kids. Some of the ministry, as you know, is just very what's the word for it? Non-structured and just relational. You know, you just, hey, what's up? How you doing, kids? And spending time with them, play a little basketball with them. You ask them how's school going and how the family is. Just to let them know that there's somebody in the neighborhood that cares. Lately, we've been taking probably the most aggressive approach to ministering to inner city children that we have in our history. As you know, Grace, you've been working with us very closely. In fact, program director for a ministry we just launched called Urban Promise, ministering to as many kids as we can in a more consistent, long-term fashion. That's something that over the years, you know, there's been a lot of great, you know, successes and failures, obviously. But one thing we've observed is that the kids, more than big events, they need consistent long-term relationship and kind of in the positive, holy, you know, hopeful input that comes from the gospel.
Yeah, sure.
You know, you get the gospel comes with hope and love and forgiveness and redemption and you know, and hope in the future and you know, a reason to live strong and to live with character. So we're trying to make sure that that's a part of the daily lives of the kids. So we're actually now a satellite of Urban Promise, which is a ministry that comes out of Camden, New Jersey. And that when I observed, and we've gone there several times and met with the directors there before we began to work together closely as a satellite ministry of Urban Promise. And what I would simply coin their ministry as is what I coined the phrase called full court press from kindergarten to college. You know, just staying with the kids, full court press from all the way from kindergarten to college. And in Camden, they're getting 80% of their kids into college that start with their ministry, which is phenomenal.
Yes, it is. True.
Phenomenal. And I've been there and seen some great ministry that's being done in debatably one of the worst cities in our nation. So we're excited about. We had what's begun, and we had a fabulous summer program working with, I guess, about 50 kids from the neighborhood, both high school and elementary school children, and just a great program. You did a great job, Grace, in coordinating it and working together. So we're excited about going forward in that regard. We're
Make it good. Turn around, turn around, turn around. Yes, God said He would turn it around. Yes, He did. God said He would turn it around. Yeah.
I know that in a time of crisis, I could count on Pastor to be a man of prayer, and I know that God listens to him, and I love Pastor.
When we faced a crisis pregnancy, Pastor McAldo was there. When my dad had a heart attack, Pastor McAldo was there. When I left the church and came back, Pastor McAldo was there, and I love him.
What I recall of Pastor is when my son went home to be with the Lord, we had come to Gateway for a baptism. We had brought friends here, and they were baptized. And Pastor had spotted my husband and myself, and he had known about my son. And he took time out from the baptismal class and the visitors and even his own congregation to ask my husband and I to stay afterwards. And he spent almost 2 hours just sitting and talking to us and telling us, you know, what to expect, how to handle my girls. And that's something that I'll never forget. And I will always love him for that, because Pastor came through for us when, to be honest, not even my own pastor did. And that was a blessing, and I will always love him for it.
For evil, God will make it good. Turn around, turn around, turn around.
Okay, I would just like to take a moment to tell you my feelings about Pastor McAldo. I love him. I couldn't possibly tell you how much in this short amount of time. What an amazing man of God he is, and how he just, grace abounds and Christ's love abounds when he's near or in the picture somehow. My experience with him is that he's always there for everyone. My daughter goes to the academy, and Pastor has a heart for the children, and he loves them very much. And he promises that he'll do what he can to help get all the children, not just some children, but all the children into the school. And he's done everything to help my daughter be part of Gateway Academy, and she's just continuously blessed at the academy. Our church family, this is a second home to us at Gateway. And it really is a church at the Gateway. It's a great place. Having Pastor as a senior pastor here, I would never even think of going anywhere else. My family loves him. God's word is true here, and he preaches it, and we love him for it.
I am Louisa. I came to Gateway Academy in '94, and it was a difficult time in our lives at that time. We had gone through some difficulties, and we came to Gateway just to visit. But Pastor in his way just came around us, loved us, encouraged us, and the rest is history. We saw that he's a man of integrity. We've learned so much from his teaching, and we've always felt loved here. And the best part is that our children, by watching Pastor and learning from him, have just dedicated their lives to following the Lord and serving the Lord, and they love ministry, and I could see the next generation. So I'm so grateful for my pastor, for his commitment to the Lord, his commitment to his flock, and he's the best.
I've been a member of Gateway Cathedral for 25 years now, and through this time, I've seen Pastor McAldo's heart, domestically and internationally, meet the needs of people around the world and within our city and within our church. He has had the heart and compassion of Christ to help those in need, whether it's in housing, whether it's in personal and spiritual needs, and domestically during crisis, as in New York City in 9/11. He has been able to mobilize our congregation through his heart and through his compassion, and he is well deserving of honor and respect that is due to him at this time. And we thank him for his leadership and his love and his Christ-likeness, and God bless him.
Hello, my name is Warren, and I joined the congregation in 2000, just before 2001. And I saw in time of crisis with 2001 how Pastor came around people that were in need, whether it was the widows and children, whether it was the firemen that were dealing with grief. We set up a grief situation for many people with Bill Brooks, and his leadership during times of crisis really comes out. After Katrina, he sent a team, including Pastor Paul and a group of about 10 men, down to Baton Rouge to deal with the crisis down there. After 9/11, they were all trained by the Red Cross to go to the pile and look for the bodies. We really, as a congregation, came behind it, and that was because of the leadership of Pastor Mercado. Thank you.
Hi, we would like to honor our pastor because we were serving over in Hungary in Budapest, and my wife Lynn, this is Lynn, had a catastrophic stroke and she was in a coma for 3 weeks. And our pastor flew over from New York to Hungary to be with us, and he prayed for Lynn, and the next morning she woke up from the coma and she's been recovering ever since. So that was definitely both a health and a spiritual crisis, and our pastor came and helped us. Thank you, Pastor.
Thanks, Pastor.
Hi, I'm Christine. I'm Pastor Ricaldo's youngest granddaughter, and I love him so much, and he showed me his love throughout my life, and he taught me a lot.
Hi, I'm Natalie, Pastor Mercado's third granddaughter.